Hello everybody, this is going to be a tutorial on how to beat Rumor Honeybottoms without taking damage. To keep things simple, I'm just going to be using the Peashooter weapon and Smoke Dash Charm, as both are accessible at the start of the game, but although I would highly recommend using the Lobber weapon in this fight, as it's very useful in the final phase. So, one of the trickiest parts of this fight is the platforming, the fact that the platforms is constantly moving downwards, so that will be a key factor during each of these phases. For instance, this phase, the security guard B here will always stay on the bottom level, so we always want to try and stay above him or on the same level if we're trying to get damage in that way. His attacks is where he spawns this bomb, so you either want to get distance then jump in between the gaps, or when you're close to it you can also just smoke dash to the center of it. Before it's exploded, the bomb itself doesn't actually have a hitbox, so you can actually just jump or walk through it. And then the mobs that spawn, they spawn on the opposite side of the arena that you're on, so being on the right side, they'll spawn from the left, and vice versa. So, just to think about the arena is the bubbling, like sea below. That doesn't cause hits, neither does like the streams on the left and right. It's just visual effects. You only get hit when you go through the floor, so you have a little bit of extra leeway at the bottom. It's just a little bit tricky to see. Going into second phase, when she appears on the left or right, you want to be on the closest platform to her. With this attack, it spawns on you, so you want to be able to have the rest of the arena to move around on. But I'll go into that attack in a little bit. So this next attack is spawning bullets. The best way to get damage here is staying on the left and getting hits to the body up on the top. For avoiding the bullets, you want to start above them and then drop below at the soonest opportunity. You can also smoke dash through them, although I'd recommend only doing that for the last bullet. So here with the closest points, the second attack is these pink orbs. With these, I like to take them just around the arena, just do a little loop through. You can also parry them to get some attacks up, so be careful because it can be tricky to get a parry with the platforms. It's easy to land on one and miss the parry. With this pink attack, you want to be facing the sides and try and avoid facing the corners as much as possible, so the projectiles don't attack at you. And be careful because those spawn on you, so it's very easy to get trapped into a corner when running away from the first one and the second one spawning, so I would just be a little bit careful of that. You can also parry those projectiles as well for the EX attacks. So yeah, here for the bullets, we jump up and then drop below. Be careful because they are still active when they're just above the screen, so you can still get hit if you jump up above the screen. And then during this phase transition into the third phase, you can get some hits in as she's turned into a plane. Final phase is one I'd, like I say, would recommend using the Lobber if you've got it. But she's got two attacks. This fist attacks, where she spawns the fist, which then follow around the arena. I'd recommend keeping track of where the last one was fired because she alternates it, right, left, left, right. And it can be very useful to know, just in case you position yourself above it, to make sure you don't do that, so you don't get hits from that. And then the second attack is the Saw attack, where she'll do an audio cue, position herself on the left or right, and then clear the screen, where you want to be on the very left or very right side to avoid that. But here we have to hit downwards. To avoid avoiding the fist attacks, implementing the smoke dash quite a bit is very useful. I'd also be careful when the fists go off screen because they are active quite a while, so they can go off screen and then return. So I would try and stay in the center of the arena as much as possible. That sort of gives you the most leeway to work with. Being able to get to the left and right side of the platforms as you need, but staying at the center gives you the most room, really, especially with the fist going off screen and returning. I would also be careful of trying to stay in the top half of the arena as well, doing a lot of platforming because the head of the plane is quite a large, has quite a large hitbox and takes up quite a bit of the bottom of the screen. So I try and stay at the top half of the arena as much as possible in that fight, as it's very easy to drop down and take contact damage. But yeah, that's Rumor Honeybottoms. Quite a tricky fight, I would say. But if there is any queries or anything unclear, then put in the comments below. I'm also live on Twitch at twitch.tv/wayofloki. If there's any queries, I'll be happy to help. And there's also going to be written tips in the description. So if you're interested in any more Cuphead boss guides or got some value from this video, then hit the subscribe button, and I shall see you in the next video.